Hello and welcome back. Years ago, I made the biggest mistake to get my eyebrows tattooed, or some may call it microblading. And for those of you who already seen my videos, know my story, you may feel like I'm just beating a dead horse, talking about it over and over again. However, lately I have been getting an influx of emails and DMs from many women who have experienced the same exact thing. And I just feel like it's not talked about enough, so I'm here to spread more awareness, also give you guys some hope that you can eventually fix it. So I learned about microblading about 8 years ago. And at that time, I had very thin eyebrows that never grew. And no matter what I did, they would just not grow. And I kept seeing all over social media these beautiful photos of people getting their eyebrows microbladed. It looked so real, the hair strokes and everything. The before and afters were just mind-blowing. I did my research for months. I found the best person in my area that cost an arm and a leg. I did not try to save money and go get them cheaply done, and that's why this was my outcome. I went to the best of the best and I did my research. Needless to say, the first year I did really like my results. They looked great. I even went back to touch up, which was probably the worst mistake, because later I find out that the more you touch them up, the harder it is to remove. I would say I did everything right, but the third year came around and my brows started fading away, really fugly. The faded brown that I had turned into a red mark on my face. I did my best to hide some areas with concealer, but over time I was noticing that the shape was a little off, and I noticed this with everyone. I don't know what it is about these microblading technicians, but they always want to give you either a bigger brow or higher arch. I started trying to grow out my brows, and as my natural brows started like coming in, I saw the shape was so off. That's why they look so different, because it's just my natural brow growing in. Just hated them so much, so I started looking into ways to remove them. I did every home remedy that you could possibly think of. They have tattoo removal cream. It doesn't work. None of that works. I tried the saline treatment. It didn't work. It actually kind of burned my skin a little bit, but that wasn't that bad. Then I made the next biggest mistake of my life, Rejuve treatment. It's basically where they go in with a little needle and extract the pigment out of the skin while putting in this solution. That scarred my eyebrows more than anything. I still have some scarring right here from that treatment. Needless to say, it just made them look even worse, more red, and now I even have scars. Now, I knew about laser treatment from the very beginning. However, the reviews were not so positive. People were saying that it left their hair white. People were saying that it burned their skin more, or that the pigment looked even darker. And of course, all the negative reviews I kept reading discouraged me from trying laser treatment in the first place. I always thought that's going to be my last option, when it should have been my first. So I ended up biting the bullet. I found a really good medical spa here in my area that provided laser treatment for tattoo removal or microblade removal or even scar removal. I saw their before and after photos, and I was like, if they could remove that, I'm sure they could do something to my brows. I went in for a consultation. At first, they just did a small test in the middle of my brow just to see how my skin would react to it. They said because my eyebrows are looking red, it could have a certain pigment that if you try to put laser on it, it's only going to turn darker. So that's why they had to do a test to make sure that it heals right and not even darker. 2 months later, after the little small test that they did on my brow, I noticed that little small dot was like light, was just as my skin, and I'm like, oh my gosh. When I saw that my skin reacted well with it, I went in for a full-on treatment. It wasn't that costly. It was, I believe, $130 for a treatment, and it's the quickest thing ever. It's like done in seconds, because all they do is spray some really cold air on your brows so you don't feel anything, and then they just go in like tick 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 tick, and you're done. Then you put some aloe vera on it and you're good to go. My hair did not turn white during any of my laser treatments. The only thing that happened was the spots they treated looked dark right after. It looked kind of black. A week or two later, it starts fading away and lining out. I did in total of 4 treatments with the test treatment, and I think I did a little too much, because now in some places I could see that my skin is a little too light, so I could have just went with 2, because over time they just lighten out. I think I went a little overboard because I thought I had so much to remove, but I was wrong. So just like wait it out. If you're gonna do it, do 1 treatment, wait a few months, then if you still see some of that pigment on there, go do another treatment, then wait many months. I think I waited like 4 weeks in between, and I should have waited a little bit longer. The only thing that truly works to remove your microblade is laser treatment. The laser that they used for my brows was called a quantum system. You can look it up, find out where they have that in your area. I'm sure they have them everywhere. Don't waste your time trying to do at-home remedies. Don't waste your time doing the saline treatment or anything that can like burn your skin or leave a scar. Laser treatment does not leave you a scar. All it did for me is remove the unwanted color. Long story short, I am so happy with the way my brows look now. I've never loved my brows more, and some of you may be like, your eyebrows still look busted, girl. They don't. Knowing what I've gone through and what they looked like before, this is a dream come true. I do laminate my brows as well, so that gives them the clean, more precise look. After 7 years, I was finally able to restore my face. I hope the takeaway from this video is that although something can look good in the first or even second year, think about the lasting effects before you do anything drastic to your face. Some people will say, well, I love my microblade, it looks great for now. I am so happy to see more people speaking out about this now.
Anybody who ever got their eyebrows microbladed actually liked the results a few years later? Or do we all collectively fucking hate ourselves for making the worst decision of our lives? Because I have to every single month go and get my eyebrows laminated to cover up the green, grey, blue shit show that is left on my face that I've had a saline solution removal situation to try and get rid of, which my brows were like bright red for 6 weeks, and I had no idea that the healing was going to take that long, just to take a tiny bit of the pigment out. Biggest mistake ever. If you don't heed my advice and you still want to go ahead and book it, go down the artist page and maybe 2 or 3 years, click the people tagged in those photos that they put that look beautiful straight on the chair after they've been freshly done, and DM them and ask them if they like their brows a few years later, or if they fucking hate them, because I don't know a single person who got them done and actually ends up liking them.
Because back when I did my brows, there was no one talking about this. If I seen at least one video like this one telling me the lasting effects and this is what it would look like in a couple years, I would have never done it. I know this was a short one, but I hope that answers your guys' questions, and if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. I will be reading through all of them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.